take your C8 Corvette Z06 from this to this for way less than GM would have you pay. So first and foremost, you're going to notice the front splitter, which is, of course, the area that runs right down through here. Then you're also going to notice the dive planes, which are, of course, these extensions right here on the front bumper. Now, these two things together help give some serious downforce to this car, and GM claims that it is more than the downforce that the C7 ZR1 made, which was 1,000 pounds. So this kit is pretty aggressive. Now, the best part is this particular kit is also exposed carbon fiber. So again, something that is on constraint from Chevy, you can get from Sigala. The next thing that it offers is, of course, the side skirts. The side skirts are standard on this car, regardless of what option you choose for the front splitter, but you typically get a carbon flash painted side skirt, and in this case, it's exposed carbon fiber to match the front splitter and those dive planes. And then lastly, of course, is the rear, that big Z07 spoiler, and this is where things get really interesting. Because of the fact that you have the dovetail spoiler on the Z06, there's a lot of holes to cover, 10 specifically. So how do you cover 10 holes on a brand new car? Well, you have three options. You can either body fill the holes, repaint the rear bumper, buy a new rear bumper, or do what Sigala did and cover them. Yeah, we'll talk more about that in a second. Ultimately, you can see the car is, without a doubt, a nicer looking, more sporty, and technically more capable car with the Z07 kit. So why did I go this route?
All right, guys, so before we get too much into the video today, I want to elaborate on exactly what we're comparing here. So we are talking about the Z07 Aero package if you are not able to get it at the time of your order. And that's pretty likely to be the case, considering there is less than 15% of these cars that have been shipped with the Z07 kit. So if you buy a Z06 and you really wish you could have gotten the Z07, this is where this kit is going to shine for you. You're going to hear me tossing around some numbers in this video that are going to be pretty high. GM's kit to add after the fact is upwards of $18,000. Yes, $18,000. So with that said, I am using a number in this video closer to $14,000 just because I know a lot of you guys out there won't necessarily buy every single nut and bolt needed to put the kit on from factory. And I know a lot of you guys out there are going to say, well, wait a second, Justin, this is only a $12,000 kit. It is if you get it at the time of order, which of course is very unlikely to happen. After the fact, the price is significantly higher. At the $14,000 mark that I'm going to be using throughout this video, that is still less than what most of you will end up paying if you do get this kit from GM. But I just wanted to go over this really quickly to let you guys know where I came up with that number and why it's not the $12,000 that you would normally see on the build, and the fact that it's actually a little bit lower than what it would probably really cost you. It makes the savings you're going to get with the Sigala kit even better. But anyway, let's jump into the rest of the video right now.
Well, like I said, guys, I was really not super interested in the Z06 if I couldn't get the Z07 kit. I couldn't get it from GM, but like I said, Sigala was able to hook me up with it. This is the way I always envisioned this car. Now, you can get this done relatively cheap because this particular kit from GM in total carbon fiber is $14,000. Plus you got to pay somebody to install it. So 14 grand for the kit that I just showed you from GM. From Sigala, $5,900. Do the math. It's less than half the cost of GM. And the largest benefit to this kit is the way the rear spoiler is installed. So as you can see here, this rear spoiler is installed to perfection and it's not showing any holes. But I can tell you this much, I didn't have any body work done to this thing. So how does Sigala hide these holes? Let's take a look. This is, of course, something else that you would not be able to get from the GM kit. Even if you decided to spend $14,000 extra on it, you are not going to have the option that Sigala gives you at hiding the holes. And if you can see, starting right here, and it's very hard to see, which is kind of the point, right here, and then all the way down along the edge of the bumper, and it contours to the actual bumper, is a thin piece of fiberglass painted to the color of your car, in this case black. And it sits on top of the bumper to hide the holes. So it is there. You have to get within, I would say, a foot, maybe more, to actually see the edges of this thing because it's done really well, which of course that is on purpose, and it's there to hide the holes. So once the holes are hidden, you're gold. You're ready to go. This is something that GM doesn't offer, by the way. After the holes are hidden, everything else installs exactly the same. This rear spoiler here, yeah, this is bolted to the frame of the car. This is not just sitting on the bumper. The brackets that hold this spoiler to the frame of the car, the exact same that GM offers. Everything on this kit has been modeled to replicate GM's quality and installation. So guys, there it is. We're gonna go over the detail of the carbon fiber here a little bit closer and a little bit more in your face in a second, just so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. The detail of everything involved here is really good. The quality of everything involved here is really good. If you guys are familiar with the channel, you know I'm not going to recommend garbage on your car, especially not my $150,000 car that's sitting here in front of you. I'm not going to install parts on my car that I don't like, let alone recommend them to you. So if you guys want to save some money, literally over half of what GM charges, plus putting in the code HPO will save you another $300, and it makes it even cheaper then. It makes it an even better bang for the buck. If you're asking me, it might be a good idea to buy the Z06, get the Z07 package afterwards from Sigala, save yourselves the trouble and the headaches of the Cup 2R tires, as well as the 10% stiffer suspension that the Z07 package offers. Unless you are going to live on the track, you don't really need all that stuff anyway. It's better to save your money and get the Sigala kit after the fact to avoid all of the other headaches. If you agree and you're like me and you can't live without the Z07 kit, check out the link in the description down below to grab the kit from Sigala and save yourself an extra $300 on top of their already incredible savings over GM's carbon fiber kit. Anyway, let's go over this carbon fiber in great detail so you guys can really see the quality that you'll be getting on your kit. Now, one other thing to keep in mind here, guys, is the Sigala kit, as you can see, is a gray carbon fiber weave, or they like to say black. But ultimately, all carbon fiber weaves have a very gray look to them, unless, of course, you're talking about the GM kit, because GM uses some sort of material in their clear coats that make them really brownish. Now, this is kind of a preference thing, but me personally, I prefer the grayest appearance here, so the more gray the better, especially on black, because it really helps pop on the exterior. I'm not really a big fan of brown on black. If you guys agree, again, the Sigala kit might be for you. If you're really liking the Sigala parts, you can also check out their boomerangs. So the intake side parts of the Z06 here can also be had in their carbon fiber to match all of the weave, and of course still maintain that gray appearance versus the brown of GM's carbon fiber. Anyway guys, that is basically going to do it for the video. So if you liked what you saw, please smash the thumbs up button. Let me know you're liking the content. This is basically just a way for you to save a bunch of money when you're ordering your C8 Corvette Z06. If you like the Z07 appearance but don't want to necessarily pay a whole bunch of money for it, this is the way to go. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. I'm going to have loads of content like this coming that you're not going to want to miss. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next upload.